Hi YouTube, it's Monday and I am so excited to do this video for you today. I am going to do a homeschool room tour and I've been waiting to do this for a long time. This spring we decided to redo some things in our schoolroom and I really wanted to take some before and after pictures, but once we decided to switch things up it happened really fast and I didn't even have time to take pictures. So today you just get to see the final result. Not everyone has a schoolroom or a space for a schoolroom. We're lucky enough that we do have a space in our house, but you don't have to have a room. Just because we have a room doesn't mean we do school down here every day. Some days we're upstairs, some days we're outside, some days we're down here in our schoolroom. But it's nice for me to have a place to keep everything organized. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about how I have things set up and some pros and cons, and kind of give you an overall feel for it. If you have questions, you can leave them below in the comments and I'll try and answer them the best that I can. So we're going to turn the camera around and I'll show you our schoolroom. Okay, here is the view just from the door of our schoolroom. This is a spare bedroom that's in the basement of our house, and we currently don't need it as a bedroom, so we're using it as a schoolroom for right now. Before we did our revamp this spring, we actually had a queen size bed in here back in the corner where that little brown couch is that took up a ton of space. But after getting through a year of school, I kind of convinced my husband that we didn't really need a guest bed down here. We aren't really in that stage of life. So we were able to donate that to somebody and that cleared up a ton of space in our room. So you can definitely make your room functional and make it multi-purpose, but luckily I don't have to do that right now anymore. So I'm just going to start on this side and we'll just kind of go all the way around. I have a marker board that's up on the wall. This is kind of our calendar time area that is magnetic. So you can see the little ABC letters down there at the bottom are magnetic. They stick to it, and I have my timers and my pointers and all that stuff is there. Then we move over to our calendar time area where we can work on the days of the week and the time, and we put up our little number every day for the date, and we talk about the weather when we start school. So that stuff is all kind of right there in that area, and most all of it is laminated, which is why you see a glare, so that we can write on it with dry erase markers if we want to. Then moving over here, this is the closet that's in this bedroom that actually has no clothes or anything in it. It's just full of school supplies. I have some old textbooks and games up there on the top. Then in this middle kind of sweater divider is just all sorts of containers of little things. These containers I find at my local hardware store. Hopefully I can focus on those. And I put tons of little things in here. These I actually get for free after rebate. So every time they're free with rebate, I just pick up a bunch because I have them all in here. Then we have several of these little drawer storage units that I can keep things in, like scissors. And then we have some manipulatives, the little cupcakes and the muffin counting. There's the do-a-dot markers are down here. Then we have extra school supplies, Play-Doh. These organizer bins over here are all just full of extra stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. Over here, these big bins, these white ones, I have one for each season, and then they're labeled, and then I can keep extra random things that are kind of just seasonal in there. And then I also have all of my craft supplies. My sewing machine is in here, and then anything craft related is in here as well. So this room is kind of a catch-all, but I've kind of really narrowed it down to just school and craft stuff. Then moving along to this wall, I have this shelf thing over here that's actually two stacked on top of each other. And so I have, again, just lots of little tubs of stuff. A lot of this is preschool stuff that I pull out for my daughter. We use the little cans for color sorting. These are all of my magnetic ABC tiles that are all separated out in here. I have lowercase and uppercase, and we use those with the Ordinary Parents Guide to Reading curriculum. This is all base 10 blocks that I was actually gifted this spring, so I put those all in a container. My daughter's sorting pie, and then we have some DVDs down in the bottom. This is a drawer that I've just kept since I was like in college, that I store stuff in. So like this drawer has all of our ABC different manipulatives and stuff in it. And then just some other bins of stuff we use on a regular basis. This is our computer station here that we're working on, along with some file bins that won't be here. That's part of the project that I'm working on the next 2 weeks before we start school, but that stuff is still out. Then up on the wall, we just have, this is the 7 C's of History timeline from Answers in Genesis that I just put up that we'll be using this year. And then we have our world map and our state map. Then this table is where we do the majority of our schoolwork, and I'm setting out some stuff for a curriculum review video that I'm going to hopefully get done later on this week. We have a couple old office chairs and one dining room chair, so the squirmy kid gets the dining room chair and whoever can sit still gets to sit in the other office chair. But we have stuff on this table. This actually, I don't know, was probably a Pinterest idea. This is a shower caddy that I picked up at Walmart, and then it just has all of our supplies organized in here. These are old Crystal Light tube containers, and they fit perfectly. Usually there's a thing of colored pencils in here as well. So this keeps all of our supplies right here handy where we need them. And then up here on my shelf is, what do we even call this thing? It's a baking rack. If I can pull some books out, you can put cookie sheets in here or whatever, but it's perfect for textbooks. And this is just kind of a catch-all from last year. I haven't updated it with this year's books, but it works really great for those things that you use on a regular basis. My laminator is over here. Then this window shelf is kind of just a catch-all for random things. Then back here, I'm going to try and back all the way up so you can see this whole wall, and then I'll go show you what everything is. This is the wall that I just redid this spring. I used to have an old desk that actually my dad built for me when I was a kid. And it was great for that, but it wasn't serving a good purpose for homeschool. So we were able to get rid of that desk, and then we got this whole black storage unit, and then I redid the shelf next to it on the left. And this is so much more functional for me, and it's been really great, and I'm super excited about it. So I'm going to kind of come over here, and we'll just kind of go shelf by shelf. My Cricut is up there that I never use, and Christmas books are up there on the top. This is a tool caddy thing that I actually used to have in my classroom when I was a classroom teacher, which is why it still has some of the labels on it, but all of my kind of supplies and stuff are in there. Then down here I have my paper cutter, laminating pouches, page protectors, some curriculum that's in hanging file folders. This shelf is all my busy bags and counting mats for my preschool daughter, so those are easy to see and to be organized. Down here is just more manipulatives, pom-poms. There's counting bears down here in this bottom tub. Then let's see, we have links and all sorts of stuff. Science sets. I have lots of stickers over here, and they're kind of organized so my kids know which ones they can come grab if they're doing an art project and which ones they need to check with me. Scrap paper, index cards, all of that kind of stuff is in all of these drawers. Then if I go over to my new shelves, I kind of have a section for each subject. So art is up there in the top, so there's temper paint and some art kits. Then we have science kits over on the other side. The red, this is a scale, a balance scale up here, so it just sits up here until we need it. Then this is my shelf for science curriculum. We're using Answers in Genesis, God's Design series. We're going to do the life year, so it covers plants, animals, and the human body. Then the next cupboard is our Bible curriculum, and I also have this language arts. Is it probably going to be here, but I haven't found a home for it yet. But we're going to have all of our grapevine studies are going to be here. Then the next shelf down is language arts. So this covers language, handwriting, spelling, phonics, all of that kind of stuff is in there. And then we have the letter of the week curriculum that my preschooler is going to be using. I have that kind of organized in binders. Then moving down another shelf is history. This is the History Revealed by Diana Waring. This is the first year that we're going to be using that series. And so I have it all 3 years are here. This bucket is just for the resources, extra like storybooks that will go with it. Then we have our math cubby with all of our Math UC products in it. Then moving down to the next row is all of my readers. These buckets, pull one out here, are ice cube buckets. If you go and buy them on Amazon, or you can buy them, I think, at Walmart or Target. They're just buckets that if you don't have an automatic ice maker, you can make cubes of ice and store them in your freezer. But they're perfect and they're inexpensive for book buckets. So I have beginning readers in this one, and then my level 1s and level 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4s over here. So it just kind of keeps them a little bit more organized. And then I didn't have to buy a whole expensive set of the actual book buckets. Then down on the bottom is just some random sets that my daughter pulls out for the numbers, and then magnets we'll use for science. Then this over here is just some random binders and curriculum that I have. Same thing kind of with this 4 set over here is just different kind of file folders. This one over here on the top is construction paper that my kids can just grab anytime they want. These two on the very bottom, I'm actually going to grab the canvas bins that go in there, so I can just kind of use those as a catch-all, because everybody needs a catch-all, and then they'll be kind of hidden out of sight. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet for my color scheme there, so I haven't gotten those. But that'll kind of all go in there, and then that stuff will be hidden away. And then I've left just a little section up here on the top empty where I can pile stuff, because I'm a piler, and then my pens and pencils and stuff are there. So that's really it. I'm going to kind of zoom or walk back this way so you can see the whole room again. Like I said, this room used to serve a lot more purposes for us, but we've really been able to focus it down to being just our school room. And it's really nice. Like I said, we don't do school down here every day. Some days we're upstairs or outside, but it gives my kids that sense of we're going to do school. It's kind of that mental change that they need and that I probably need too. So it just gives us that space that we can work. If we have something that we're working on, we can leave it out, then it's not sitting on the dining room table or whatever for later on in the evening. And everything is organized. My kids know where stuff is supposed to go, which doesn't always mean that it gets there. But at least it gives them an idea of where they should be putting their stuff. So that's our schoolroom. If you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them. It will never look this neat and organized again. So don't think that it looks like this. I should do one mid-year so you can see what it looks like, because this is pretty impressive in my book for how things normally look at my house. I like them to be organized, but it doesn't always stay that way. So again, if you have questions, please let me know. And I hope that this video will help you.